The Dolomites are a mountain range located in northeastern Italy. Transworld Sport journeyed here to join German slackline pro Lukas Irmler as he searched for a perfect highline spot.
Slacklining is a modern form of tightrope walking. While tightrope walkers use steel cables, we balance on stretchy webbing. This enables us to pursue slacklining in extremely unusual places because the webbing is easy to carry. You can even take it to the mountains. My passion is slacklining in near inaccessible places. I started slacklining over 10 years ago, and at first I would never have thought that slacklining would take me all over the world. So far I've slacklined and even highlined on 6 continents, and I've gained a great deal of experience. I've been to China, USA, North and South America and Africa. At each place I had very special moments. Slacklining has taken me around the globe, but I'm originally from Bavaria, which is quite close to the Alps. It's a region with lots of climbing and, of course, many slacklining spots. There are several places which offer some great highlining potential. Right now, we're in South Tyrol, at the Schlern mountain range, and we want to scout a potential highline between the Irmler Tower and the Zantner Tower. The team for this mission is Benjamin Koffler, Julian Mittermeier, and myself. Benjamin is the local from the area. He's the best slackliner in South Tyrol, who knows the Dolomites very well. Julian is my go-to highline buddy. It's important to have strong all-rounders.
When you drive through South Tyrol, the Schlern is one of the landmarks. First of all, we need to scale both peaks to see if there are possibilities to anchor our slackline. Of course, there is always the possibility that it will not work out in the end.
It's some climbing terrain here. It's super steep, with loose rocks everywhere. No protection points in sight. I'm definitely scared right now. Alpine highlining is much more than just slacklining, or even regular highlining. It includes a number of different disciplines. You have to be a good climber, and you have to be able to move safely in alpine terrain. When I started slacklining, I was not an expert in these disciplines, but I pursued them in order to be able to do these alpine slackline projects and to accomplish my dreams. Once you've scouted places on maps or on the internet, it's amazing to get there and see if it looks the way you imagined it, and to find out if the planned slackline is even possible.
The search for anchor points was sobering. We arrived at the peak and discovered good rock. But our plan was not to bolt for this line, which means having to find some kind of natural anchors. But we didn't manage to find anything we could use as an anchor up there. Without an anchor, there's no possibility for the line we imagined.
The main problem is that the Schlern is part of a nature reserve. It's a protected area within the Dolomites, and we have to keep that in mind. So we'll try to find an alternative location. I'm back at the starting line again, and I'm wondering if we'll be able to find an alternative spot.
Today we're in the Langkoffel range. We want to scout an option for a highline and hopefully also make it during this trip.
Julian is on holiday and Benny is in bed with a cold. That's why I'm accompanied by Bernd Hassmann. He's kind of our mountain dad. He often joins us in the mountains to help out. Kieran Hirtrick is also with us. He's a young and highly motivated slackliner. I've done a few projects with him and he'll complement the team well. 3 people are a small group for an alpine project like this, but we're all highly experienced and we have a realistic chance of success.
We're facing a long approach through rough terrain. It could take hours. Never forget, you're in an alpine area here. If you're not careful, you can cause rockfall, which can be lethal for your partners. If you misjudge the weather or are not well prepared, it can get out of hand quickly. You have to keep in mind that you're in a life-threatening environment and that we're just visitors here.
Hey Kieran! Hey Kieran! How's it going?
We've now found our anchor points and know exactly what equipment we will need tomorrow. We've already left a few things up here and we'll make some last preparations before we head back to the cabin. Tomorrow, we'll start very early, as we expect the weather to turn bad in the afternoon. We should have enough time to set up the line and walk it if we get an early start.
After a long search for a really challenging alpine project, we are very close to our goal now. We have finally found a perfect spot and we should be able to realise the line tomorrow, weather permitting. I'm quite confident that it will work out this time.
It's about 5:10 and we've just woken up. Well rested, of course. Well, sort of. A little tired, maybe. We climbed the mountain this morning and then went along the ridge. The sun was behind the ridge, so we didn't see it until we reached the top. There was a magical light in the clouds that drifted over the ridge. Beautifully rough and wild scenery. We are the first ones on the mountain today, as no one left this early.
Having found suitable anchor points, the next big challenge is usually to establish a connection to bring the line across the gap. At this particular spot in the Langkoffer range, we got rather lucky concerning the connection. Because it's a ridge, you can just walk the line from one side to the other. It's quite dangerous terrain to walk, with lots of loose rock and steep cliffs, but we managed to carry the line across. That saved us a lot of work. The highline here is only 65 meters, but it's more than 150 meters high and situated at an altitude of 3,000 meters. That makes the line absolutely stunning and the view spectacular. To get on such an alpine line for the first time is an intense experience. You're nervous and excited.
On this line, I really had this old highline feeling again. That basic emotion of fear. Fear of height, fear of exposure. It's not something I get on every slackline, as I've done quite a few big highlines. But here, everything is wilder, higher and more exposed. That's why you get scared again. It's human to get scared in such a situation. But at the same time, that's also a cool thing about highlining, that you get to face your fears and stay calm and relaxed on the line. Overcoming those fears is a wonderful thing.
Alpine highlines are the pinnacle of my sport. It does not get any better in highlining than this. It's all about being high up and as exposed as possible. In an alpine environment, you will find the most stunning views, exposure and hardship, which all add to the extreme mental challenge of such lines. That's exactly what I get excited about.